In the press, of course, a lot of attention flowed this morning on the sentencing yesterday of Oscar Pistorius.
That's right. As you can imagine, it's front page news in South Africa. I pulled out some examples. First of all, Beeld talks about prisoner Pistorius, and you can see a photo of him in the court shortly after receiving that 5-year sentence. Similar photo on the front page of Cape Time. They talk about the lone walk to prison. Oscar Pistorius wakes up this morning as a member of the prison population, and Cape Argus as well. They went for a different photo of an empty bucket and wilting flowers there, and you can see lots of focus there on that 5-year sentence. It's no ordinary number, says Cape Argus.
It is a number that has divided a lot of people. The question is whether the sentence was in fact fair.
Absolutely. The Mail and Guardian, another South African paper, interviews a law professor named Stephen Tucson. He says that 5 years sentence is significant. The number 5 was carefully selected. Why is that? Well, it means that Pistorius can seek an early release into house arrest after just 10 months. Any longer sentence would not have given him a chance at house arrest. As you can imagine, this has sparked some outrage on social media. But as you were saying, lots of focus on that short, well, what a lot of people say was a short sentence. The Guardian takes a closer look at this. A lot of people, as you said, say 5 years isn't enough. It's not fair. Many web users argued that he should have been convicted of murder instead of culpable homicide. That way he would have been given a longer sentence. But others argued that 5 years is actually more than enough. And I pulled out an article that was interesting and surprising because it's kind of going against the grain of what a lot of other papers are saying. This is a piece also in The Guardian by Simon Jenkins. Now, he says that, sure, Oscar Pistorius is guilty. He killed his girlfriend. But as you can see here, he should not be going to jail. Pistorius' life is ruined. No one will be deterred by his sentence. And Simon Jenkins says that imprisonment is a brutal response that achieves nothing in this case.
Other papers, Florence, applaud the sentence, saying that the right balance was struck.
Absolutely. There's another piece, this time by Rosie Millard in The Independent. She applauds the fact that he was sentenced at all, especially in such an unequal society as South Africa. She applauds the judge as being a fair woman. As you can see here, the headline, it says it's quite right that fame and talent could not save him. It says quite a lot about how far modern South Africa has come in recent years. And speaking about modern South Africa, I pulled out an animated cartoon. This is from the Mail and Guardian. This is actually quite critical of the media and its obsession with the trial. This media frenzy, which means that, well, other important topics such as corruption, crime, and poverty have not been addressed so much. The article that went along with this cartoon said, why do we care about all these things? We have Oscar.
And that's good enough, it seems, for the media for now. We've also been talking this morning, of course, Florence, about the death of Ben Bradlee, the Washington Post editor who oversaw the Watergate coverage and so on. He's died. A lot of coverage is given over to that.
Lots of emotion in the U.S. media, especially in the Washington Post, as you can imagine. They pay tribute to Ben Bradlee today. So he was at the helm of the Washington Post for 26 years. And as you said, he presided over the Post's reporting on Watergate that eventually led to the downfall of Richard Nixon. In its editorial, the Washington Post says that Ben Bradlee really transformed the Washington Post into one of the world's leading modern newspapers. And to quote this very emotional editorial, it says that his conviction that even the most powerful should be held to a standard of truth-telling inspired journalists well beyond the Post.
Tributes paid to his extraordinary courage. To stay in the United States, a lot of papers focusing on a new look, Renee Zellweger.
That's right. The Oscar-winning actress has sparked quite a media frenzy over photos that were taken of her on Monday night. She pretty much, came out of the relative obscurity that she's been in. Critics say that she is unrecognizable here. And as you can see the headline here, it says Renee Zellweger's face is too real. She quickly became the source of almost a perverse delight and scrutiny. As one article put it, her new look has attracted more medical scrutiny than Ebola. I'll give you an example of some what I think are mean headlines that are aimed at her. This is Entertainment Tonight that talks about what did she do to her face. They ask all sorts of plastic surgeons to weigh in, but a lot of other papers have come out swinging for Renee Zellweger. The Guardian, for instance, is very disturbed by such mean headlines and comments over her. They say nothing is wrong with Renee Zellweger's face. There's something wrong with us. Basically, she's pulled back the curtain on our hypocrisy by letting herself be seen in public past a certain age.
Right, a look at the Bridget Jones of old, looking slightly different today. Thank you very much indeed, Florence, with a look there at what's making headlines in the international press. It's 27 minutes past 9, a quick break, and I'll be back with the headlines in just a moment.